So you want to go back to basics like we did in FS22? Well, now you can. Cue the music. So first up is John Deere Neo Sign. This is by Assassin TV2, 1.22 megabyte on the download, and you're going to find it, well, I say as you can imagine, would have thought it's under decorations, it's actually under productions. Because, generators under the old production category. So it's going to make you $840 a month. And obviously, that's not that much money, but then again, it's just a sign. So you're still getting $840 a month just for advertising John Deere. Alright, why not? Plonk it down by the side of your building and away you go. Right, next up is Raspberry Prduction. This is by OTG, 5.95 megabyte on the download, and you're going to find it, well, first off, you're going to find it under greenhouses. So this is going to be one that's actually growing your raspberries for you. So $4,000 to place down, job's a good one. Then once you place it down and you got some raspberries out of it, you then come across to this one, which as you can imagine is going to be found under production chains. That's going to cost you $75,000, and that's going to be making some jam. Oh, I do like a bit of jam, especially on toast anyway. So we've got our garden plot, we'll call it that anyway. You come up to here, you got your production chain menu. So raspberries, great. Seed and water. Okay, we'll turn that on. And they look a little bit dry. Yeah, that's because obviously we've got seeds in, we haven't got water in. So if you come along and then go and put some water in here. I mean, the seed and the water go in at the same point where you got the water icon. So you're going like that, and they turn green. Obviously, you've got no water in them. They are going to look a bit dried out if you haven't got any water in, so fair enough. I mean, I think you'd look a bit dried out without enough water, but all right, carry on. You then got your pallet spawn point just here. Now, can we lift them up? No, we can't. They're too heavy, 400 kilo. So if you have got the liftable pallet mod on, you still can't lift them, so no problem. Right, so you got your pallet spawn point just there, and you don't fancy just selling them off. You fancy, you know, making a little bit more cash. Well, over here, you got your raspberry factory, so you load your stuff into there. You got your pallet spawn point jam there, and then obviously your production chain menu is just here. So you can make raspberry jam or raspberry juice. I'm not one for juice, I'll probably just go for the jam, get it on some toast, but alright, fair enough. Oh, I like a bit of jam on top, I'll have to go have some of that in a minute. And here's your pallet spawn point. I mean, it is rather loud. I mean, this is not running at the minute, and it's still rather noisy, but all right, fair enough. I mean, you got your jam, you got your juice there. Let's have a little look in the old prices category. Well, one thing I will note is the actual selling points for it. So, multi-purpose buying station, which is one I've put down on my test map, and the old raspberry factory. That's yeah. So maybe you can't sell it at a standard sell point on the well, as you can imagine, on any map. So you might need to put your own one down, but all right, fair enough. But a pallet of raspberries, $16.5 grand, $17.5 grand, that is not bad at all, I must admit. Then you got your jam, which is going to be 17 grand. Although that's saying sell point as the raspberry factory that you get it out of. But okay, so 17. I mean, to be fair, if the raspberries are selling for 16.5, would you really want to go through all that expense of building this facility for an extra grand a pallet? Oh, you might do if you're doing a big load of it. All right, fair enough. But that being said, 16.5 grand for one of these pallets. What have we got there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So what's that? 32, 64, 96 grand just out of there from putting seeds and water in. Oh, that is a money maker. Right, next up is Lazy Distribution. This is by Let's Be Having Moo, 0.34 megabyte on the download, and you're going to find them under various places. But these are interesting, I must admit. So first off, this one is going to be found under your greenhouses. So basically all of them allows you to distribute to anywhere on the map, whatever it is that it's down to distribute, as you go on imagine. So your greenhouse one here, you're going to be able to distribute liquid fertilizer, solid fertilizer, water and seeds. So if you were to have this, like, say down here at your little setup, and you had a facility the other side of the map, drop one of these down, chuck all your stuff in, you haven't got to drive across the map, which is awesome. I do like that. Now we've got them for quite a few different things. So first up we got the one for the bees, so that's obviously going to be transporting your honey. We then got one for your eggs, that's going to be on the chickens, and obviously that's going to be transporting your chicken, transporting your eggs. Yeah, you can't transport your chickens like that. We then got the one under the goats and sheep. So the first one is going to be goat milk. We then got one for wool. And we then got one for goat milk and wool. Fair enough. Now we got the next one here, which is actually going to be found under cows. And this one is very interesting, I must admit, because you're going to be able to do buffalo milk, standard milk, manure and slurry. So you could just chuck it into there and it just sends it wherever you like. I mean, you've even got one here which is actually under silos. Is going to be one for your wood, which is always interesting because, you know, if you're, you know, chopping trees down up a hill somewhere, you don't fancy moving it along, well, you just put one of these down, it's going to send it straight to your sawmill. That is all right. And then we've got these standard silo. I say standard, they do work like silos, but obviously with a distribution option. So we've got a small one just there. It's going to cost you 117 grand. We've got a medium, 125 grand, and then the large one, 147 grand. And now I'm going to show you what they actually do, because obviously we placed them over here in the corner where we normally start. Now right across in the corner over here, I've gone and placed myself a grey mill. So standard base game one, no problem. So in there, we'll go to it. Where's my grey mill? Up a bit further. There we are. So grey mill, we've got barley in my trailer. No, nothing going on. Right, so we can empty it of barley. Right, no problem. So let's go and get the old grey mill. Well, go get the grain to go in the grey mill. We'll then just go into the first one like this, like that. Then obviously load in like that. And you come across to your production chain menu. So all these have got the production chains. Well, the silos have anyway. I mean, you got your options there. So obviously out of the standard one, you've got your storing, your selling, and your distributing. So if you didn't want to take it to the sell point, you could just like sell it off. I mean, you probably would take a bit of a hit, mind you, but have it on distributing. Turn it on. There we are. And then we just need to wait for the hour to tick by. Right, so here we are, coming up to the hour ticking over, and we've got 50,000 litres of barley going in. Well, in our silo anyway. So as soon as that goes past the hour, then it drops to 6. So let's have a little look on the old grey mill. Where are we? Grey mill. There we are. So we have now put, I said barley, and it got 2,000 gone into it. Where's the rest gone? Has it gone into the other silos? Yes, it has. It's gone into, so it's going to send it to a silo or a production chain, which is a bit of an issue. So we've now sent it 28,000 to that one, 14,000 to that one. And we still got 6. Yeah, maybe not put all of these down all at once. It might be a little bit of a problem, but oh, and it started to rain. Oh, isn't that marvellous? But that being said, and you've only got one down, that'll work out nicely. Right, next up is Garage with Tool Table. This is by ICAS, 3.11 megabyte on the download, and you're going to find it, as you can imagine, under garages. Well, under sheds, to be fair. So we have got the option of changing the colour. So you click Customise, press A, go into there. You can pick anything you like from that palette, or you can go for any one of those. It's going to change the walls. Great, no problem. And once you have got it put down, come over here, open up the door like that, get in out of the rain, job's a good one. Fair enough. Now that being said, I mean obviously it's not got a lot of space in here. When you have got a little table there, you can put your chainsaw, your spray can, and then your horse brush there. So that's always good. And what we've got there? Oh, switch roof. What did that do? Oh, it's changed the colour. Oh, that's all right. You can change the colour roof if you wanted to. We'll go back. What does that do? Puts it back to the original. All right. Fair enough. Fair enough indeed. I mean, you've got 2 doors that you can open up. You've got junk knocking around. That is all right indeed. A little bit of a table over here. Can we get rid of those boxes? No, you can't. Just for decoration. I mean, trash can, obviously, full of junk. Fair enough. I like that. I mean, you can change the colour of the roof as well. Oh, why not? Next up is Large Drive-Through Shed. This is by Patty Nickas, 4.12 megabyte on the download, and you're going to find it, as you can imagine, under sheds. Now, like the previous one for Nickas, you can also change the colour of the walls. So click on Customise, pick your colour, job's a good one. No problem. Now, obviously, place it down, as the name would suggest, large drive-through, and they're not joking. It is a large drive-through vehicle shed. Look at that door, that's huge. That is absolutely massive. Oh, I do like that. I do like that indeed. Now, once you're inside, obviously you've got your of the door, so it's going to be drive-through option, because obviously if it's not got 2 doors you can drive through, it's not really a drive-through shed. But okay, fair enough. Yeah, I've got this little man door on the side. Open up that one. You've got a light switch here as well. You can turn the lights on when it gets dark. Fair enough indeed. We'll come out of here, just duck down a little bit. There we are. We've got this bit here. We can then switch the roof again. So like the previous one, we can change the colour of the roof. Matches up the walls. Oh, fair enough. And next up is Gothic Barn. This is by Michael Pilko. 58.49 megabyte on the download. And you're going to find it, as you can imagine, under sheds. Now, it's going to cost you 100 grand. And it's also got a silo function, which is all right. 90,000 litre capacity. And I must admit, it is looking good. I mean, Gothic style. I say Gothic. That's the name of it. I'm not really sure what Gothic style is. I'm not really into art, mind you. But all right, fair. It's looking good, though. I mean, to see the plaster flaking off. That is all right. And we've got this door as well that opens up. I mean, the doors don't line up because they're old. They've deformed a little bit with a bit of weathering. I like that. And once you're inside, I mean, it looks nice. It does look nice. We've got junk knocking around as well, as standard for a garage, shed, whatever you want to call it. Got a little door that opens up. I like that. Always like that when they put a little door in. That's ace. We'll open up the big one. There you are. That's awesome. This looks brilliant. I mean, if you're going down that old school roleplay, that is awesome. And on here, you've got a little bit of a drive-through option for the shed. And we'll come down here. We've got this door. We'll open up that one. And in here, a little bit of a sofa. Because, you know, why not? Why not indeed? And then we've got our silo over here. So you've got your taking out point. You then got your loading in point as well at the same place. This looks awesome. I mean, it's just like the detail in it going around. That's ace. You've even got a little shed, a little sofa, settee, whatever you want to call it, to have a sit on whilst you're in there. That is ace. And next up is Shed. This is by Matisse. 5.22 megabyte on the download. And you're going to find it, as you can imagine, under sheds. Now, it's going to cost you 25 grand. And obviously, it's somewhere for you to store your stuff. Fairly simple. Obviously, back your stuff in or reverse it out entirely as you like it. You know, and there's no customization options. So it comes in this lovely brown colour. I mean, it's a simple shed. I mean, 25 grand, not that expensive. So if you need somewhere to store some stuff, equipment, vehicles, bales, pallets, whatever, yeah, I'll sort you out nicely. Next up is Drying Fermenter. This is by Hasco, 18.28 megabyte on the download, and you're going to find it, as you can imagine, under production chains. Now, it's going to cost you 187 grand, and you're going to be making a bit of hay and a bit of silage. Now, you've got a taking out point just there. You've also got a taking out point just there as well. So imagine one's going to be for your hay, one's going to be for your silage. And then you've got your loading in point, which is just here. Got your production chain menu just there. There we are. So for making your hay, well, making your silage, you can put a bit of chaff in, or you can put a bit of grass in. And to make hay, you got to add some straw. So grass and straw turns into hay. I thought hay was just dried out grass, but okay, fair enough. I mean, you do have the option to put bales in there, which is all right. All right, fair enough. Next up is Brazilian Pigsty. This is by Namog Mod, 7.58 megabyte on the download, and you're going to find him, as you can imagine, under pigsties. Now, we've got 4 different versions here. So first off, we've got the wooden pigsty that has a fence. You do have the option to expand the fence, and it asks you if you want to put a pasture down. And it only puts, well, sort of this square bit. It doesn't cover all of it, so you might want to decorate your pigsty a little bit better. Then the same sort of thing again, but you've got a concrete version. Then you've got a free range version, so you've got an open wooden pigsty, and then you've got the concrete pigsty as well. Now it's saying you're going to hold 36 pigs on each of them. Now I placed them down, I've got 29. Didn't expand the fence, so you might want to, you know, get a little bit more expansion on the go. Fair enough, entirely up to you. Now you've got your food going into there, you've got your animal dialogue box just there, and then water going in, because these obviously are pastures. You're not going to get any slurry out, so maybe you want to put them down for like a bit of fattening up, that sort of thing. You know, and then sell your pigs on later. But all right, I mean, we can walk through here, actually. There we are. You all right, mate? How's it going? All right, we'll carry on. Carry on. So this is the second one, is exactly the same, but obviously it's got the concrete bit rather than having the wooden bit. And then you've got the open ones, which is... whoa! He was taking a run at me then. You going to chill out? You have a little bit of a munch. Look at him, he's going 90. Ah, dear, oh dear. So obviously they're open pastures. So they just have a little bit of a run around. Yeah, they are going to stop at some point. It's not completely open. It doesn't work that way in the game. But that being said, you know, if you want to put it down in your farmyard, maybe put some like cattle grids at the edge of the road. Really expand it out. All right, fair enough. Next up is Cowshed Pack. This is by Farming Association Ursin Rainer. 55.57 megabyte in the download. And as you can imagine, you're going to find them under cowsheds. Now, we've got 4 different versions here. So the first one is Cowshed Big. That's going to hold 57 cows. And as you can imagine, you can customise with some solar panels on the roof. If you didn't fancy going for that one, we could go for a slightly smaller version, the Cowshed Small. It's going to hold 30 cows. And you can also put some solar panels on the roof. Alright, no worries. If you don't like that one, you can then come for the calf shed, which is 40 grand, which actually looks ace. It's got the little calf igloos at the back. No problem. That's going to hold 30 cows. And then on the end is going to be your open barn for beef cattle. Yeah, 115 grand, and it's going to hold 30 cows. Now, 3 of these, not the first one, do not produce milk. They are just for your beef cattle. So whether it's for the calf rearing or fattening up, whatever, those 3 down there don't produce milk. So just bear that in mind if you are looking for something there's going to be a bit of a dairy thing on the go. But this one does. So first up, you got your door that opens up here. Now, you may think, oh, the animal dialogue box should be about there. Nope. You need to open up the door. So that's going to do its thing like that. The inner gate's then going to open. When it goes through its thing, there we are. Then your animal dialogue box is actually inside. Alright, fair enough. Now, we're going to close that door back up so they don't run away. You then come across to this door. You've actually got to open up by the button, which is alright. I like that. Rather than just having the trigger on the door, I've got to press a button like you normally would do in real life. Then come in here. You've got your loading in point for your food and straw-ish. Now, I had to use a straw blower to get the straw in, and then, obviously, you know, it wouldn't dump in from a loose version. So, but the food went in all right, no problem. You come down here, and this is a little bit of an interesting one, because the button to open the door is right by the trigger point for the light switch to turn the lights on. But, okay, I mean, I can't get to it from the inside. So, if you want a drive-through option, come through the outside, and then, you know, come open from the outside. That's a better way of putting it. We have got this button over here, though, and this is going to open up the blinds. Are they blinds? Mesh? Whatever you want to call it. Fair enough. Let a bit of airflow come through. Now, because we can't open up that of the door from the inside, we're going to have to go all the way around the outside, which is marvellous. But that being said, it's an alright looking shed. You know, get some cows on the go, not a problem. Because round the back is your taking out point for your milk just there. We have got this door. You want to open up like that. There you are. There's your big tanker. And can we go into here? Turn that on. Right, got a shed light switch just there. Wow, that's bright. A little bit of a computer to keep well, I say keep yourself entertained. You know, you can play some games on that, or maybe just track how much milk you're making. But all right, fair enough. Inside here is going to be your cow shed, as you can well imagine. And then round the back, again, by the milk, is going to be your slurry taking out point. And here's what I mean by the outside. Got another little button just there. Obviously, you can't reach it from the inside. It's obstructed by the light switch trigger. But alright, it is what it is. Now, we've got the small one. The small cow barn. Animal dialogue box just here. Not a problem. We then come down here. Got your loading in point for your food. And I like to use the straw blower again. Now, I will say, that roof is really low. So be careful you don't get your vehicle stuck underneath it. But alright, no problem. Got a little bit of a shed on the go at the end as well. We've got this little... We've got 10 shed lights on. You've got a breaker box and a button. Alright, fair enough. Is what it is. Then we got this one. The old igloo. I like this. I mean, you got this gate that opens. So you can come down with a trailer and load it in there like that. No problem. For your straw into that side. Obviously, animal dialogue box just there. And you've got this little man gate. that you can open up as well if you want to go and check on your cows. Got your food that goes into this bit. Then up here, by this button, you got a light switch. Yeah, no problem. You've also got a show bucket switch. Fair enough. You know, a little bit of a, well, nose bags, trough bag, whatever you want to call it. I mean, nose bag for horses, really, but I like that. Something a little different. We'll say this, though. The old curtain doesn't have a collision on, so don't worry. You're not going to get stuck. And then the last one on the end, a little bit of a different shape than normal. I mean, you have got these gates that open. They did open. Oh, maybe not that one, because this one definitely did. You open up that one, obviously back your trailer in, because you're loading input for your straws over here. Got your animal dialogue box just there. Close it up again, and your feed goes into there. Alright, fair enough. And you've got a little bit of a storage on the go as well. I mean, I do like that. I mean, the igloo one looks awesome. I mean, we've got a little mesh that opens up as well on the first one. Yeah, very nice. Right, next up is Handcrafted Weight Box. This is by Chimera and the Design Farmer. 4.94 megabyte on the download, and you're going to find it under weights. Now, the weight itself, said weights a lot in that sentence, is 600 kilo. It's going to cost you 1,500 to buy, but you do have some options. So you can have it as a rusty version, a painted version. You can then have the agricultural conveyor plate, yes or no, puts that on the front. Extinguisher is going to be putting it on the side just there. Then you've got tool storage. Yes or no? We'll come back to that in a minute. And then you've got your main colour. If you haven't gone for the rusty version, obviously you get the option to change the colour. Well, it's actually going to change it when you do pick the different colour. Now, obviously this is going to fit to the front of your tractor. So LB and right stick left and right opens it up. No problem. And you come around here. If you've gone for the toolbox inside, there you are. You can put a spray can, a horse brush, and a chainsaw. Alright, fair enough. And next up is Adapter 3-point SkidSteer. This is by NASA B82, 0.9 megabyte on the download, and you're going to find it under miscellaneous. Now, what this does is awesome. So obviously, it's going to mount to your 3 points on your tractor, but then allows you to use SkidSteer tools, which is alright indeed. So it's going to cost you 400 to buy. You do have the option of main colour, which is going to be that bit, and then your design colour is going to be the rest of it. Now, if you've got some SkidSteer loader tools, for whatever reason you haven't got a SkidSteer loader, but you have got a front loader. Oh, this is, well, to be fair, not even front loader. I mean, you've got 3 point on your tractor. Indeed. Now, it doesn't just come with the old adapter. It actually comes with a high dump bucket as well, which is all right. I mean, you've got capacity 1, which is 1,284 litres. Then you can go up to 6,000 litres, 3,000 litres, 4,000 litres, 5,000, then back to 1284. Now, I'm not quite sure. Well, it goes 1284, then up to 6, and then 3, 4, and 5. But, all right, it is what it is. I mean, even if you go for the biggest version, it's not going to cost you any extra, which is all right indeed. And then you've got your main colour, which is going to be your main colour. Oh, fair enough. Right, next up is the Quicke Gradingbucket. This is by Not Polar, 0.84 megabyte on the download, and you're going to find it under front loader tools. Now, it's got a 750 litre capacity, 2,200 to buy, and you may be thinking, that's not a big bucket, and you'll be right, to be fair, but it does have the option to put some tension belts on it, yes or no. Now, that's the only option you got, and obviously it's going to go on a front loader, but what you can do is go and pick up other stuff. So if we go like that, we'll just nudge into it like that, put some straps on. I've got 11,000 litre bale in a, was it 750 litre bucket? Dear, oh dear, why not? I mean, if it's got straps, just strap it down and away you go. Oh, awesome. So next up is the Bressel and Lade Shovel Pack. This is by Vertex Design, 5.43 megabyte on the download, and you're going to find them under front loader tools. Now, first up, we've got the Shovel L16, 2,080 litre capacity, 1,900 to buy. You can change the capacity, so 2,080 to 2,390, 2,600, 3,110, and then back to your 2080 version. Although, to be fair, I mean, that's they're still going up in size. There you are. So that's your smaller version. 3,110 is your biggest one. All right, no problem. Braces, yes or no. I'm going to put those in there. Now, your attacher types. You can have it for a front loader, a telehandler, a wheel loader, or back to your front loader. Then you've got your chassis colour. So we're going to go with an orange. It's going to do everything. Now, if you think this is a bit small, well, they've got a slightly bigger one, the L17. Starts off with 3,030 litre capacity. That's then going to go up to 3,330, 3,330. You then got the 3,860. You then got 4,240. And then back to your 3030. So your 4,240 is your biggest version. Again, you've got your braces, yes or no. Again, you've got your attacher type. You can have it as a wheel loader, telehandler, or wheel loader. So it's not, they've got as many options on that one. So just a 2 for those. All right, fair enough. And then chassis colour is obviously going to be your chassis. All right, fair enough. Next up is the Agromasz POH5. This is by Puzzcap, 5.26 megabyte on the download, and you're going to find it, as you can imagine, under ploughs. Now, it's going to require 150 horsepower from your tractor. It's got a 2.5 metre working width, a 7 mile an hour working speed, and a price of 14 grand. Now, you do have the option of universal mould boards, slatted mould boards, or universal. So it's going to be those that side. There you are. All right. Fair enough. Fair enough. Now, 2.5 metre, you may be thinking, do you know what, that's really small. But then again, if you're doing small farming shenanigans, this should fit in nicely. And next up is a throwback to the base game start tractor on FS22, the old Deutz Fahr Topliner 4090. This is by Matt26, 40.91 megabyte to download, and you're going to find it, as you can imagine, under harvesters. Now, it's got a 310 horsepower engine, 12 mile an hour top speed, and an 8,500 litre grainage tank for a touch under 130 grand to buy. You do have the options of wheel bands. You've got Trelleborg, BKT, Michelin, and then Trelleborg again. We have got some wides in there if you wanted to go for those. Some wide twos, looking pretty good. Now, obviously, with this, you're going to need a header as well. So we've got the Topliner 4090 header, 6 metre working width, 6 mile an hour work speed, and a 30 grand price tag. If you didn't fancy carting that around on the front of your harvester, well, you got a header trailer as well. Fair enough. So it's going to cost you £1,000. Job's a good one. So if you did fancy going old school, throwing it back to FS22, this should fit in nicely. And next up is the John Deere 1270G Pack. This is by HR Force and Fargzeugbau, 41.94 megabyte on the download, and they're going to be under forestry equipment. Now, they are both basically the same. They've both got 272 horsepower engine, and both going to do 71 centimetre round trees, well, diameter trees anyway. So we're going to go into the 8W. Obviously, it's a different model. Fair enough. I mean, to be fair, the only difference is going to be the 6W. It's got 3 axles, 6 wheels, as you can imagine. And then the 8W has got the 8 wheels with 4 axles. So fair enough. You then got your wheel brands. You've got your Nokian, your BKT, Trelleborg, Olisfords, and then back to Nokians again. And then Olisfords, you can mix and match it. You've got your tracks, you've got your whatever. All right, fair enough. Windows, so you've got your standard, you've got your tinted 1, tinted 2, and then back to standard again. Speed sticker, yes or no. Put it on the sides as well. All right, fair enough. I mean, normally it puts it on the back. I suppose, I mean, 20, that's going to be like 20 kilometre an hour though, isn't it? Because these don't go fast at all, but okay. Rear cage, yes or no. Bit of protection around your engine. Then you've got position lights, yes or no. Are they on the roof? Okay, don't really see where those lights are going, to be fair. Okay, we'll carry on. Additional cabin lighting, yes or no. So that puts it on the bottom side of the window on the cabin. Then you've got interior deco. Now, I can't zoom in anymore. So we'll try and have a little spy. So yes or no. So round the back. Looks like a lunchbox. Looks like it. Could be a bag or something, but okay, fair enough. Window protection, yes or no. It's going to be putting that on the front. Then you've got your crane additional protection, yes or no. It doesn't. Oh, it does put it on there. All right, it's got a little extra bit of triangularage, if that's even a word. Reflector stripes, yes or no. It's going to be putting those on the front arm. Then you've got your easy arm controls, yes or no. Now on console, they're going to be the standard shenanigans. So you go for whichever one you want. You've got your chainsaw holder. So obviously that's going to give you a place to put your chainsaw. Obviously it won't show up in the shop, but all right, fair enough. Cabin rotation at 90 degree left and right, yes or no. Then you've got your colours. So you got your main colour, which, wow, Wow, indeed, can be any one of those. Now, I haven't got the unlimited colour mod turned on, but it turned off. So that's a lot of colours for you to pick from. Then you've got your cabin colour, is obviously going to be your cabin. Then you've got your processor head colour. We'll go for blue. It's going to do that bit. You then got your hose protection colour. We'll go for red. It's going to do those. You then got your Olive Force colour. We'll go for pink. Pink Olive Force. Why not? Then you got your rim colour, which is obviously going to be your rims. Now, fair enough. Now, obviously, these are basically both the same. 8-wheel, 6-wheel, whichever one you go for. So if you're into your forestry, you want to chop some trees down, these should sort you out nicely. Last mod of the day is the Mad Forest Challenge. This is by ABT Frankie, 166.61 megabyte on the download. And as you can imagine, there's not a lot here. We're just going to say that. Now, if you come on New Farmer, you're going to be using 473 slots. That is it. That's hardly any, which is awesome. If you also come on New Farmer, you're going to own a piece of land. So you're going to own area number 1 and then area number 6. Now, apart from that, they are rather expensive. 942 grand. And then we've got that one, 632. So they're not exactly cheap. But then again, they're not exactly big either. So that's the map zoomed all the way out. So it is a small map, but obviously it's for chopping some stuff down. So fair enough. Chop your trees down, jobs are good. Now what you have got on your, I'm going to say start farm. Yeah, we'll call it that anyway, is a tent. So you've got a sleep trigger and you've got a wardrobe trigger by there. We'll spin it back round. We've got a sell point, so you chuck all your stuff in there, sell it all off, which is great. You then got a shop trigger, if you want to go to the shop menu like that, and a workshop trigger to fix your vehicles up. And you've got an animal dealer trigger, not a trailer, animal dealer trigger, put my teeth in, right there. And that's it. That is it. Now, the whole premise behind this map is if you look here, you got these little tracks, these roads that are going up and whatever. You're supposed to cut your way out. So you're starting off in the middle of the forest and you need to, make your way to civilization, that sort of thing. All right, fair enough. Now we have got a piece of equipment. Well, I've got a couple of pieces of equipment over here. So we've got the Albert Log Fork, the Class Arian 420, the Kessler 144ND, and the Quicke Q6M. Well, that's it. That's all the equipment you've got. So we really, even though we're on New Farmer, we don't have hardly anything. So it is one of those this is like really start from scratch. So if you go into there, you'll just see, we're going to the build menu, have a little flyover. There's just a ton of trees. There's like one field on the map. So you are going to have to chop your way out, plough some fields out. Jobs are good. And so if you're into that sort of thing, I don't even know where I've flown around here. Oh, there's my little farm. There it is. There's a little area that you've got to start with. Yeah, get some logging on the go. I mean, you can make plenty of money out of logging, so, all right, fair enough. Dear, oh dear, there's loads of trees.